Okay, folks, kicking off our coverage of the 2025 UTMB, a pre-race interview with one of the men's favorites, the two-time champion of CCC from Cedar City, Utah, who just joined us for the CCC preview show, Mr. Hayden Hawks. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Just hanging out here, trying to do the last-minute preparation for UTMB. Yeah. Feeling good and trying to not do too much, but also see some friends and have a good time out here.
All right, so we talked about this a little bit in the CCC preview, but our audience will have not seen that yet. But maybe just to touch on it here, but in a different way, talking about your experience here in Chamonix at UTMB week. Two-time winner at CCC. What does it feel like to win a race during UTMB week? And what does it feel like to do it twice? Imagine both days were some of the most profound and most emotional moments of your life.
Yeah, it's pretty special, man. I was actually doing a run the other day with two of my athletes that I coach here out on the course, and we were running down the Flagere climb, the last descent and down into Chamonix. And one of my athletes was like, man, I'm just envisioning myself coming through here, the crowd's kind of feeling it. And he was like, I bet it's pretty special for you to be in first coming down into here, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, man, it is so special. It's one of those moments. I mean, fortunately I've had it twice now. Yeah. It's a moment that I will never forget, just the feelings that you feel. And every time I descend off of Flagere and I start making my way down into Chamonix, I get those feelings in some way. Yeah. And those feelings have helped me a lot, because of course I had a pretty good string of injuries after CCC last year, especially this spring. And just remembering those moments, remembering crossing that finish line with my wife and my kids there, and everybody just cheering me on and having just those feelings got me through a lot of that. It helped motivate me to get back here and to do the hard work and do the things that I didn't want to do all the time, to get healthy enough so I could make my way back here, because it's a special race. It's a special week, and it means a lot to me and my family. Yeah.
So with two victories, it's easy for the audience to forget the other experiences that you've had. I think you were fifth at OCC one year, and I think you've DNF'd at UTMB before, haven't you?
I DNF'd at UTMB in 2019. I DNF'd at TDS in 2018. I DNF'd at CCC in 2022. Yeah. And then, of course, I was injured after Western States in 23. So I came out here to do some work with HOKA, but I didn't get a race. So yeah, there was a string in there for 7 years in between the wins where there was a lot of DNFs. There was that one 5th place at OCC. And it was, it was always fighting to get that moment again. Yeah. For it to come in 2024, it was special. And it was I want to keep doing that. And I want to cherish this moment and see if I can have it again. Yeah. Remind me what happened at the UTMB DNF, because for the audience, I believe that was your 100-mile debut. It was. And since then you've been on the podium of Western States twice, but this is your return to the big loop here at UTMB. Yeah. I wasn't ready. Yeah. I just wasn't ready. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. I wasn't prepared for the night running. I wasn't prepared for the hiking. I didn't even know how to use poles. I had no clue what I was getting myself into, and I just hated it, to be honest with you. I think it was a mindset thing where I didn't embrace UTMB, and I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was. I was taking that same kind of that running mindset of CCC and Black Canyon and stuff like that, and being I can just take that same mindset into something like UTMB. It doesn't work. It's a completely different race. It runs differently, and you got to embrace it. You got to embrace the hiking. You got to embrace the grind and just the nutrition and all these little elements that matter so much in a race like UTMB. And I didn't do that. I didn't train for it properly. I just had no clue. So I got to Courmayeur and my legs were blown to pieces, to be honest with you. And then also my mind was just blown up. I was just I don't even enjoy this. This sucks. Yeah. So I dropped out, and I said, I will not come back to this race until I can shift that mindset and be prepared, because I do not want to enter this race the same way. I don't want to go through this again. I want to be prepared, and I want to be mentally prepared to be able to do this.
Yeah. Okay. So last season, you were second in Trail Runner of the Year. Just to remind everybody, win at Black Canyon, third place at Western States, win at CCC, among, those were the highlights of the season. Remind everybody about the sort of health saga that you just mentioned here. What have you been going through? I mean, we also saw you at Tarawera earlier this spring, where you laced a sick 50K. And then I know it's been challenging since. What have you been dealing with?
Yeah. So, of course, 2023 I had some injuries, and I think there was a lot of compensation from many years of not addressing that injury. Of course, that was my left knee that I had the injuries on in 2023. And I fought through that for so many years. Yeah. And a lot of compensation stuff happened on my right leg because of that. And then my right knee started kind of acting up a little bit on me after CCC last year, actually. I kind of managed it, got through it, was like, I think it'll be okay. It doesn't seem like it's too bad. Went and actually ran my fastest 50K ever in my career at Tarawera.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I'm fit. I'm ready to go. Like, I felt really good and felt like, man, I'm going to go into Western States this year so fit, just build off of my 2024 season. Went home from New Zealand, and my knee just really flared up on me, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, I'm like, man, what is going on? And like, it just felt like I had a knife being stabbed into the side of my knee, the inside of my knee, every step I took. And I went through like some physio and stuff trying to figure it out for about a month. I don't know why I didn't get an MRI earlier. I would encourage people to, if you have something that you think might be bigger, get an MRI as soon as possible. Yeah. Because I went through about 4 weeks without knowing what it was and just trying to address other things. Finally decided to get an MRI and found out that I had a pretty bad meniscus. Not bad, but I had some fraying in my meniscus. And because of that, there was some inflammation going on in the meniscus, which was then causing the rest of my muscles to tighten up and guard it. And so we tried to get through that, and it just wasn't clearing up. So finally opted to get a small, very, very minor meniscus clean. And the doctor said, hey, if we get this, I bet this will take care of it. Yeah. We got the meniscus clean. I of course, had to recover from the surgery. Then slowly started making my way back, and it worked. Yeah. The muscle stopped guarding. My knee started getting healthy again. And yeah, like it was a lot of hard work, a lot of very, very hard days. But I made it through and was able to have a decent block leading into UTMB.
So part of that hard time was having to forego your opportunity to go for a big W at Western States. Had to shift your focus, but maybe just staying on this for a second, because having seen you at TrailCon and at Western States, I could like sort of feel your sadness and disappointment to be there, but not competing. We all know you as this ultimate competitor in the sport. I think it might be interesting for the audience to have you share that side of things, like the emotional toil of going through something like this, and what it felt like for you to attend Western States not as a competitor. Because to me, it felt like almost you didn't enjoy it. It may be an incorrect interpretation, but I think it's interesting.
I didn't enjoy the first couple days there, to be fair with you. It came out, I knew I needed to be there, and I wanted to experience, with my friends and my family and experience the race in a different way. And I first showed up and I didn't want to be there. Yeah. I don't cry very often. Like, I was kind of taught, like when I was younger, to not cry. But I had a breakdown pretty hard at that race with my wife. And it was hard. It was very, very hard. Yeah. Like, I just was very emotional and was like, man, this just sucks. Like, this was my goal. This is what I wanted to do. And like, I was very frustrated. And after that cry, I decided I was just going to shift my focus and enjoy the weekend and see what I could learn from this race. Because I opted right there that I was going to come back. And I said, well, if I'm going to come back, let's see what I can learn.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can learn from looking at this race differently, like seeing the crews. I was a student that weekend, and luckily I had some really good friends, Kim and Topher Gaylord. They really took care of me and helped me, and we had a great time. We ended up having a great weekend, and I accomplished a lot that weekend, had a great time with my friends and family, but it was very, very challenging. But it actually motivated me, like, hey, let's get ready for UTMB. Let's see if it's possible. Yeah.
So you just have a good cry, spend a little time with Kim and Toph, and then reframe, like it's a learning experience, let's turn this, unfortunate disappointment into something that you can actually apply in the future. And no doubt you will be back. But where are you now, bro? Because we've been obviously having some exchanges as we've sort of been setting things up here this week. And our idea was like, well, man, if Hayden doesn't race, let's see how much we can pull him in to help us with Freetrail stuff. And you posted on your Instagram, all right, I made the decision to go. So tell us about like what signals you tuned into to make you feel confident to stand on that start line. Cause you know what it means to go to UTMB. It's not just like going to any other race. No. How did you come to the determination that you were ready?
Yeah, luckily for me, through kind of the recovery process and everything, I was able to do quite a bit of cycling and a lot of hiking. I was able to bust out the poles and use the poles to like kind of hike and get through a lot of those early moments of the rehab. And that motion was actually very good for me. The running was pretty hard. That came back a lot later. Wasn't able to put much on the knee. But yeah, we came out here early July. My wife was running the Verbier 50K, and we said, we're just going to come out. Ashley's going to run. We're going to have a good time. We already booked the place, and we're like, let's just go have a fun summer. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to run when I'm out in Chamonix, but I'll just hang out with the kids, maybe rock climb or have some fun, do some other activities, right? I can hike. So I was like, maybe I'll just hike around the mountains all day. And so that's what I initially did when I first came out here. Is I just was hiking. I was hiking up and taking lifts down, hiking up, taking lifts down, or just going on flatter, more rolling hikes. And things started kind of progressing. And then I started implementing a little bit of running and was like, man, my knee actually feels really good. And surprisingly, the steep ups and the steep downs actually felt better than the flat on it. And I was like, wow, things are feeling pretty good. And I don't feel like I'm in that bad of shape. Yeah. Like, remember, like, I had ran my fastest 50K ever in my career in February. Yeah. I had trained all the way up till pretty much end of April. So I had a really good training block to start the season or start the year. And I had a lot of fitness. Yeah. And that just doesn't go away. Yep. Plus the years and years of base and experience and everything I have. So I just was like taking it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, taking the positives and being like, there was a lot of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but I was taking everything as a positive and being like, I'm going to slowly see what happens. And I'm not going to make a decision till like a week or 2 before race day. You never know. And things just kept progressing and progressing and progressing. And there was a moment in there when it flared up a little bit and I'm like, maybe I won't be racing. And maybe that's when we were emailing. And then I was like, I need to do like 2 long runs to see if it responds well. Yeah. So I ended up doing a long run on the course from Le Contamine to Courmayeur with Rod Farvard. And it went great. Great. I felt great. I got off that long run and my knee was great. It didn't swell. It felt good. And I was like, wow. And it actually got better after that long run. Mm. And then the next week, I did a night run. I did the same run, Le Contamine to Courmayeur, but through the night. I started at 11 p.m. because like night running was kind of the thing I knew I needed to work on. And it felt great again. It even felt better. Mm. And then it progressed. And then like, I would say the last 2 weeks, I've started to feel like myself again. My knee is healthy. My body's responding really good. I'm climbing really good. Everything's starting to feel like itself again. And I'm like, man, maybe I can do this. And then I started thinking about like, I'm fresh. That could be a good thing. I'm really good at executing. Like that is probably my specialty is execution, nutrition, hydration. Those things matter a lot in something like UTMB. Yep. And so I started focusing on those things and was like, if I can dial all that in, if I can be fresh, I may not be the fittest, but I'm fit enough. Who knows? And if anything, it'll just be experience.
Yeah. You mentioned that Jesh, you were on a run with Jeshrin Small where he said something that maybe gave you the encouragement to fully commit.
Yeah, because I think so we went on a run and we were talking about the mental side of these things, right? And coming off of injury and the mental side of coming back from injury. And I asked him a question. I don't even know what I said, but I was like, Jesh, do you think I could run UTMB? I think that's what I asked him. Do you think I could run UTMB? And he kind of talked to me about it. And he asked me some questions in response. It's kind of like a little therapy session. And through that conversation, he was like, 100% Hayden, I believe that you can run UTMB and I believe that you are fit enough to compete. And that hit me. And that was like a turning point in my head because I was holding on in my head. Yeah. The physical side felt good, but the mental side, I couldn't quite pull that trigger and it just wasn't there. And after that conversation with Jeshrin Small, it was like, yeah, dude, you can do this. Yeah. And who cares? There is no pressure on you going into this. Nobody's expecting much out of you. Like, you're coming off of a surgery, but you feel good. And who cares if you win or you lose or whatever happens? Like, go out there and have fun. Yeah. Be grateful to be out here. Gain experience. See what you can do. This isn't your first rodeo. Yeah. Like, I have so much experience at this race. And I was like, that's all I got to think about. And I just got to go out there and have a good day and smile and enjoy it and compete and see what happens.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But you are a competitor, right? So, and having looked at your Strava and stuff, I think one thing that would be interesting to talk about is you were carrying tons of fitness through the spring. That Tarawera performance was evidence of it. But you've had an operation done and you had to press fully, pull the ripcord on your training for a while compared to a lot of the guys who you're going to be competing against. You've done less. Is that something that, freshness is one thing, but how do you reconcile that internally, or does it make you feel insecure?
It doesn't make me feel insecure because I've been here before. Yeah. I did less than anybody else going into Black Canyon last year. I did less than anybody else going into Western States. I did less than anybody else going into CCC last year. I had to. I was coming back off of an injury, and honestly, that ended up being the best year of my career last year, doing less. Yeah. And I just felt like, man, I've been here before. Like, people don't realize, so before Western States, yes, it's a little different. And yes, maybe I had a little bit more mileage, but time-wise, it was about the same, to be honest with you. I only had 8 weeks leading into Western States last year. 8 weeks. Yeah. And look what I did at Western States.
Yeah. I remember
it's very similar.
Ryan and I went on that run with you at Canyons that year, and you were just starting your training. Yeah.
So I don't know, mentally, that doesn't bother me, to be honest with you, that I'm doing less. I actually kind of like it, to be honest with you, because everybody's doing high mileage and maybe I'm the guy that's doing a bit less and maybe that could be the ticket. Who knows, right?
Could be. You and I were just talking about this, but for the audience, I made the comment that it kind of reminds me of Jim Walmsley in 2023 when he won the race. Obviously, he had to pull out of the World Championships that year due to injury. Had a compressed lead in to UTMB, won the race, kind of similar for you. Tell me about this night run, because I've noticed more people doing it this year. Yeah. The pros are actually practicing their process in the night. Share specifically what you did and what value it brings to your training.
Yeah, it was a funny run, man. It was really crazy, actually. I realized that night running was kind of my weakness. I struggled in the night at Lavaredo in 2018. I struggled in the night at Trans Gran Canaria, struggled the night at UTMB when I did it. And I was like, man, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
I need to go and gain some confidence running through the night. I need to sort out my lighting. I need to sort out my nutrition, my hydration. I need to like see the course in the night to see what it runs like. And I was working on some different things as well. We've done some research on what can help you get through the night with different supplementing and different things like that. So we were trying some of that. And I learned so much from the night run. I learned that my lighting sucked. So I needed to change that up. Yeah, I had some really bad issues with that. And I learned a lot about just my stomach, what it could handle, different way I need to be fueling, different things like that. So there was a lot of little elements. It wasn't about fitness. It's about getting all those little things down that will allow you to utilize the fitness come race day. And if I wouldn't have done that night run, I wouldn't have learned any of those things. And I probably would have ran into all those issues during the night at UTMB. And I just wanted to make sure I got all that down. So I've done 2 night runs. One was only from like 10 o'clock at night to midnight, but that was mostly to get the lighting system down after I switched it up. But the night run was just to, gain confidence in all the little elements that could make a big difference at a race like UTMB.
Yeah. It's usually, it's always so funny at UTMB where you wake up in the morning as a fan, as a spectator, and you're like, what the hell happened overnight? Like there's always some massive like attrition, or a bunch of people have run into issues, or, there's just like, it is a really important stretch of the race that, I don't know, I've noticed a pattern just looking at Strava of more and more people actually, testing their systems and gaining that like specific experience.
I'm going to have a lot of lights out there. Let's just be honest with you. I might look like an airplane out there on the trail. But.
All right. So speaking of your equipment, are you using poles?
Yes.
Breaking news on the program here. All right. So we talked about this in our CCC preview, but in both of your CCC wins, you didn't use poles. Why use poles at UTMB? What's the thought process there between using them for the long race and not for the mid distance?
There's more hiking in UTMB, a lot more hiking. You can't get away running every step of UTMB. I could almost run every step of CCC, but I can't do that at UTMB. And even at CCC, the last climb, I struggled a bit on the last climb. And I think that was just trying to run every step and my legs getting tired. So at UTMB, I'm definitely going to need the poles, especially in the latter half of the race. And also, I've been really practicing with them. I've gotten very efficient with them. I actually have embraced them and actually really enjoy using poles now. And they also helped me in my rehab. I did a lot of hiking with poles. So I'm like, well, let's just use the poles. Like this will be good. And I think they'll definitely help me at UTMB. I
can't wait. Hayden Hawks embracing now in your mid 30s with 2 kids. It's pole time, baby. It's pole time.
The dad poles. I call them the dad poles. No, man. I mean, everything that we've been talking about, everything is centered around, I knew that I might not have the fitness for UTMB. Which that's come around pretty good. But it was all about focusing on the little things, like the poles, like the night running, like the nutrition, and getting all of those and spending more of that time that I couldn't do on training to focusing on those little things. So like I'm still training as much as everybody else. I might not be run training as much as everybody else, but when I come home from a run, I'm literally dialing everything in and trying to figure out, I'm setting up calls and doing things with my nutrition coach, with my crew, with my run coach. And we're just trying to sort everything out. So it's like, I will have all of those things down, hopefully on race day. You never know. I'm focused on controlling what I can, and I can't control everything, but it's more focusing on those things and then seeing where the fitness can take me. And who knows, you never know what's going to happen at UTMB, but I don't think anybody does, to be honest with you. We see that every year, right? My knee could flare up on me. I have no idea. My body could like break down. It could not have a good day. It could have a great day, but why not try? It's like a free throw. See what happens. and go with it. You know, I'm going to compete.
Yeah.
I'm a competitor. I'm going to compete. And I feel confident enough that I can compete.
Yeah.
So that's what helped me make the decision that yes, I'm going to do UTMB and just see what happens. But I honestly, nobody can control everything at UTMB.
Of course, yeah.
Not even if you're the most trained, most dialed person in the world.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's going to be so great to have you on the start line this year, and I hope it goes fantastic. Last question for you. We've mentioned, you know, your family here a couple of times. You and I were just talking about how Ashley, your wife, is running MCC. You guys travel with your 2 kids. I'm here with my family too. Share a little bit about just, you know, kind of sharing this whole experience, this whole week together. And also just your kids having been able to travel around the world with you guys, like what value it's brought into these early years of their lives.
Yeah, I think like I had to give a shout out to my dad. 'Cause my dad growing up, he involved me and my brother in everything. He took us everywhere. He took us to work with him. He took us, you know, anything. Like we weren't a burden to him. We were his friend. Like we were his little buddies that he took everywhere with us. And sometimes we probably shouldn't have been in certain places, but my dad was like, oh, my son's coming along and he's going to learn and he's going to be here with me because that's my son. And like, honestly, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like me and my dad still have that really strong relationship today. And like, he was my best friend growing up. And like, I experienced so many things because of him. And he taught me so many things. Yeah. And that was kind of my thought when I became a dad was my kids aren't going to be burdens to me. I'm going to involve them as much as possible in what I can do with my life. I'm going to take them to my races. I'm going to take them to like work with me, you know, and they're going to experience and they're going to learn and grow with me. And we're going to have fun doing it together. And yeah, there's certain times when you can't. But for the most part, I try and bring them as much as possible. Like on UTMB race, my son is there helping me prepare for the race. Like the other night, he was helping me put my pack together for UTMB for my night run. You know, he's going to be there. Like he helped crew me at Tarawera.
Yeah.
And I just want to like involve my kids as much as possible. And because that's what my dad did for me. And I feel like that's what I can do for them. So it means a lot to us to be able to do this as a family, and we really draw really close together doing it.
It's so awesome. Well, good luck to Ashley in MCC. And I know that you'll be well looked after on the race course. And now it's just dawning on me, but there's a great dad contingent between you, Francois, Tom Evans, Ben Demon. I don't have the list in front of me, but you know, a lot of the favorites are dads, which, you know, certainly makes me, you know, I root for you guys. But thanks, Hayden, as we say here at Freetrail, you never bet against Hayden Hawks, even if the build-up hasn't been perfect. So stoked that you're here. Best of luck to you at UTMB.
Thanks, man.